Hello, everybody. Welcome to Celebrate Southern Africa. I am so thrilled to be talking to this lovely, lovely lady who has so much to share about sustainability, which has to share about life, about making a difference on the planet, and just general chat that I know you are going to love. So my name is Denton, and I have Sashe Christopher here. Please tell us what your full name is and what does it mean?
Hi, Dawn. So my full
Hello.
name is Sashika, and I was born on an auspicious day. So I'm not exactly sure what the meaning is, but it's something special that my parents decided on.
I love it. I love it. So, home for you, I know that you've traveled a lot, but is Durban, and you left Durban when you were really very young. What do you
I
think
was.
about the way that you are today that comes from your South African heritage?
So I left when I was 4 years old, but I'm still very much proudly South African. My husband is from Durban as well. Our daughter calls herself an African girl, so
Oh,
she's very, that's her happy place. But I mean, what I've carried through my life is the whole community and ethos of being South African, um, having sustainability as a way of life back there. I've been talking to a few people about my story, and every brand should have a story. So I think that's an important thing, to go back to your roots and how it all began. But I think being South African as well, there's not much waste. We make use of everything that we have at home. There's no food that
yeah.
goes in the bin at the end of the week. There's always someone to give your old clothes to. And even if you look at the informal settlements, people find whatever they can and make homes, to live in. So I wish there was more of that here in the UK and in other countries. People could just learn so much from that. So
Absolutely. And you are
yeah,
making a big difference with your business, and your business is called Pop My Way. Tell
that's
us a bit
correct.
about the name and why you came up with that name, because it's fabulous. It just sounds so brilliant. It just sounds like you want to know more about it.
So when I had my daughter, I had quite a tricky time with the pregnancy and birth and things. So I wanted to make life easier, just thinking about how fiddly and cumbersome the clothing is for babies, and having to change 10 nappies a day or something like that with the newborn. So with the background in fashion, buying and merchandising is what I've done for about 20 years. I kind of came up with an idea to do very simple, practical baby clothing with some unique design features. So babies always lose things. So they lose their dummies. You find one sock on the side of the road now and again. So I wanted to make things attachable. So I have attachable accessories that pop on. So you can change the look of an outfit with a collar. You can pop a bib on using there's some clever shoulder poppers on the bodysuits and sleep suits. And even our socks are attachable to our trousers.
That's
So that was the whole
amazing.
idea behind it. And then the sustainability side of things, in addition to that, I wanted to make sure that everything from the beginning was sustainable, and not just say that it's sustainable, but have it certified so everything can be backed up. All the claims that we make, our factories audited and monitored regularly. And the Global Organic Textile Standard is what they have to receive a certificate every year to show that they're covering all aspects from, monitoring waste, water and energy use, making sure there's no chemical dyes being used, and the social side of things as well, which is quite important. So the factory workers are looked after, and it's all just amazing.
I think that's very important. It's easy for us to buy a product and not know how the people who made it are being treated. And I think that is something that's very, very important too. And it should become more important. I think we should be doing more research about what we're buying, and not just randomly pick something up, buy it on Amazon, buy it online, just from an advert, because those are having a huge impact on people's lives. Now, I noticed that your factory is in Peru. That's amazing.
Yes, it
How do
is.
you find a factory in Peru, and do you get to visit lots?
I have visited them. So it was a lot of trial and error, but I wanted a specific type of cotton called Pima cotton, and that's grown in Peru. So it's grown organically. and it's hand harvested. But this type of cotton is very durable. So what it means is with baby clothing in particular, you don't get all the little bobbles on it. It doesn't pill. It doesn't go out of shape. So it can be passed on to other children. Parents are not embarrassed to pass it on because it still looks like it's very new or in good quality. Even stains come off easily.
Okay, so you
that's the reason
researched,
why.
so you found this stuff, and why specifically is it only made in Peru?
It's grown in Peru, so the cotton
Okay.
is actually grown there.
Okay, so why specifically only there, or are there other places in the world? Do you know?
There are other places. I particularly like the quality of the clothing that comes out of the Peruvian factories. So there's another brand that has the biggest floor space in Harrods baby department. And they're made with Pima cotton as well, but not organic and not certified. So the quality is incredible. It's super soft and stretchy as well. So with baby changing nappies and things, you want the fabric to be soft and stretchy, not stiff and comfortable, no impurities in the fabric. The chemical dye thing is quite important too, because with babies now, there's no regulations about what goes into their clothing.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, there are some dyes that are banned, but apart from that, there's no checks and things that are done on the clothing. So parents don't really know what they're putting on their baby's skin.
Yeah, and it's your most precious possession, your most precious, person in the house.
Yeah.
And yet we aren't as aware of that. That's really very interesting. So do you create the designs and then send it to Lima, or how does that work?
Yes, so I've done everything from the designing all the way through to choosing the packaging to the website. I work closely with the factory, so they've been to the UK and we've had meetings here, and I've traveled to Lima as well and seen how everything works. So we've got a really good relationship going, and they send me samples. We've had loads of different samples initially made of the clothing, because it's a lot of trial and error, making sure that the collar sits correctly. My daughter, luckily at that age, was a good model, a fit model to try things on, and I had lots of friends with babies, so we did a lot of that.
That's brilliant. I also love the idea of the whole circular concept, keeping the circular economy and keeping things kind of reusable, because that's an important aspect of business. And I know we are talking about circular economy a lot more. So where I live in Somerset, we have projects that help keep like the nutrients in the soil. We collect compost, it gets done in the local park, and then businesses and can grow again using the nutrients that stay in the town. And I think that's also important, just that whole concept of circular, which I think you also reference quite a lot in your business.
Yeah, and I mean, what we introduced not long ago as well is a take back scheme. So we've got Pop My Way Pre-Loved, where people can send their clothing back to us once their child's grown out of it or when they're done with it. And we offer them a percentage off, discount off the next size. And then we can sell the pre-loved clothing on our website at a reduced price. So it also makes it accessible to those people that can't afford it at full price, because, sustainable brands do cost more.
Yeah.
There's a reason why, we want quality over quantity. We want to make sure that our garment workers are paid a decent wage. So there's lots of reasons why things do cost more. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's accessible when it comes back as pre-loved. More people can actually have access to it.
That's fantastic. I love that. But now recently you were recognized as a special female founding business owner. Tell us a bit about that, because that's very exciting.
So I managed to get onto the F Entrepreneur Top 100 most influential entrepreneurs list, which was a huge honor. I managed to just get invited to a lunch on Monday, which was at the House of Lords, which was really special. It was so surreal being there and meeting all these other women. And it's just opened up all these doors. I've got some great press from it. We have meetings every month to discuss various things. And it's just a great opportunity to be able to not only educate people more about my business, but also learn from what they're doing in theirs.
Yeah.
Together.
That must be such an honor to be recognized like that. And just
Is.
to feel that what you're doing is reaching more people and you are having an impact. Because I think sometimes we feel too small in a big world.
Yeah.
That our difference is not necessarily making a difference. It doesn't even feel like a ripple in the pool yet. You know, it
That's
feels like
right.
it's just something really tiny.
And
So
I
I think
think as women as well, you know, sorry to interrupt you, but as women, we tend to juggle so many different things. So this list is it's called I Also, because it's about women who are entrepreneurs, but also juggling various other things, you know. So in addition to my business, I've got, you know, my family, I've got a 6-year-old daughter. I'm working with the university to do guest lectures and tell the students over there about my business and how use it as a case study.
wow.
You know, there's loads of different things, helping other small businesses to be more sustainable. So it's a juggling act. And being in the UK as well, we don't have the family support or other additional help to do things. So there's a lot that we're carrying along with other things day to day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So where in the UK are you based now?
So I'm in Hertfordshire.
Okay. And how did you end up there specifically?
So we were in central London. We moved here in 2009, my husband and I did. And we initially came over to travel. So we wanted to see Europe and do that kind of thing. And, you know, being in central London is great. But when we wanted to have a family, we wanted to have a bit more space and, you know, just be somewhere where we can have a garden. So we moved out this way.
Oh, it's a lovely part of the world. And it's
It
nice
is.
and accessible as well, which is
Yeah,
great.
it's still easy to get into central London, and we're on the border of the countryside, so we can get farm fresh eggs and you know, just be in nature as well if we wanted to.
Yeah. So your daughter's 6 years old now. Does she still have a say in the clothing? Do you ask her for her advice?
All the time. Yeah, she's got a lot to say. So she's
A
very
6-year-old,
passionate as well.
a 6-year-old always has a lot to say.
She does. She does. No, but she's very passionate about the sustainability side of things as well. So,
Wow.
you know, I like to get her involved. She's involved when I do my Instagram posts sometimes, and she looks at the clothing with me a lot. So yeah, she's definitely very involved, as is my husband's also my sounding board. So bounce things off him. And yeah, it's good to have people to talk to that are passionate.
Yeah, because running a business is really quite lonely. I think that's one of the big things is, you know, I sometimes have to pace up and down the hallway and think, do I do that? Do I do that? Is this time to move, do that? Or if I do this, it's going to the next level. Is that scary? Is that, you know, so
Yeah.
having even just the sounding board, just because when you verbalize it,
Yeah.
it feels like you're coming up with the answer yourself, but you need to
That's right.
use it, you know, to talk.
And you're right, it is quite lonely, you know, being a solo business owner. You know, I've got some great friends that I've only just been able to catch up with in person over the last month or so. It's all been, you know, due to COVID here, we've had all the restrictions in place and people were reluctant to go out. So it's good to be able to just meet someone face to face now and do those proper catch-ups again.
So tell us where your products are. They just online, or are you looking, are they in bricks and mortar, or are you looking at that as an option? Or
so they're currently just online. We were in Harvey Nichols in Knightsbridge, but they
wow.
closed their children's wear department down and they've got new buyers in now. So I might be able to get back in there, hopefully. You know, Selfridges have showed interest. We've got interest from a few other little boutique stores as well. So for now, we're just online, but we're on a few selling platforms as well, like the Immaculate Vegan, because we're a vegan brand in addition to everything else. So the Immaculate Vegan, we've got Good On You. I don't know if you've heard of Good On You before. No. So they are a company that gives brands, fashion brands, ethical and sustainable ratings.
Okay.
So they rate you based on people, planet, and animals. So we're really happy that we managed to get the highest rating on there not long ago. And they now promote our brand through their website, and we sell Pop My Way in an affiliate program with them.
That sounds amazing. Well, that's
Yeah.
brilliant, because that's ticked all the boxes. And that was something that was really quite important to you when you created this.
Yes. Yeah.
So did you wake up one day and go, I'm going to do this? Or how did the business start?
Um, so I had the idea, I kind of had the idea when I was off on maternity leave. I drew some sketches one day at the dining room table, and I can't draw to save my life, so they looked a bit funny. But I managed to get a professional company to come in and put them in proportion properly. But it kind of just started from an idea to make life easier, because I was a bit frustrated by the clothing that I had for my daughter. And I just thought, we need something simple and something that would help to change things as well and change mindset. So, it just kind of started from there.
And so the first step was that you just sketched, and then you got someone in to do it. But that's a big step to then get professional people in, because it feels like something's happening.
It did. It was a bit scary to begin with. And I was like, what am I doing? Am I crazy? Can I do this? But my husband's very supportive. I really believed that it was something that had potential to be huge.
Yeah.
And, it's been challenging. We've had the pandemic, we've had Brexit here. So I ship worldwide, and all of my orders to the EU countries have been affected by Brexit now. So there's lots of challenges that I've had to face as a small business, but I'm really optimistic that things can only get better now, and onwards and upwards.
So where do you get your business support from? Because like, so you're in this network, I suppose, now of these ladies being on this list of 100. But where would you find that kind of business support if you were a small business owner?
So my biggest recommendation for small businesses is the British Library. So they've got a center in the British Library called, I think it's called I can't think of the name of it now, but it's basically a section in the British Library that helps with anything you can think of. You can go in there and you can get a mentor. You can go and ask them to help you to research what your competitors are doing and how they're performing, anything you can think of. And they've got great workshops as well, and talks that they run. Everything's free of charge as well.
Wow.
So that's highly recommended.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's fantastic. Oh, what a great tip. I think that's fantastic for anyone really thinking about having the idea and going, what do I do with it next? Or how would I consider?
Yeah. And I mean, just getting onto, there's loads of Facebook groups that you can join, locally as well as just general business ones. So I think the more you can network with people and learn about their businesses and what they're doing, it's, that's helpful as well.
I think there's a big worry, though, that people are going to join these, they go, well, someone's going to take and steal my idea.
Yeah.
That's a big worry, isn't it?
It is a worry, especially in fashion, because things can be copied easily. So with my stuff, I got everything legally registered. So all my designs are legally registered. So copying is not, if something happens, hopefully I've got enough a leg to stand on there to show that I've come up with the idea first. But I mean, like someone said to me the other day, you can go online and look at your designs. It doesn't have to be in a meeting or something. Someone can just go onto your website and copy your design. So right now with social media and with technology, it's so easy to just look things up.
Yes, I suppose that is just to get yourself protected as much as you can legally, and then at least you can protect it that way. A friend of, actually a South African friend of ours, is a painter, and she did this beautiful picture of a red stiletto, and she discovered that a company in China was using it to make mobile phone covers using her stiletto.
Yeah,
I know. I don't know how she found that. Like, how do you find that? I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know until someone tells you or you see it,
Yeah.
I know lots of the small businesses that I have seen on Instagram before. Quite a few of them have come up with lawsuits against supermarkets. So like Asda, for example, has copied designs and everything's unique to them. So, and they've managed to win their cases. So it gives you a bit of reassurance there.
Yeah, no, I think that's sometimes a big worry, especially if you're coming up with something unique and special like you've done. Yeah, yeah. So you traveled a lot when you were growing up, and you've lived in how many different places?
Oh gosh, so I've lived in Malawi in Central Africa. I've lived in Holland, in London twice. This is my third time moving to London now. Lived in Australia as well. So I moved around quite a lot with my dad's job. So it was 11, yes, I think I said already, lots of different schools and homes.
Absolutely. But what I think that does for you is it makes you aware of so many different elements and aspects of life when you
Right.
get to mix with other cultures and not just experience them through movies or social media, but you've actually lived and worked in them or been a part of them. Like you went
That's
to
right.
university in Australia, so you have a different understanding of the culture because you've lived in it.
Yes, I have. Yeah. And I've been to international schools and American schools. So all the kids in those schools were from so many different nationalities, getting to learn about religions and festivals and food and all sorts of things. So I wouldn't, if I had to rewind, I wouldn't change that. I would do it all over again, I think.
That's brilliant. And do you still eat a lot of Southern African food? I mean, coming from Durban, do you like
We
hot
do.
food?
We do. My husband does an amazing bunny chow. So we have bunny
Oh,
chows. We do. We've got a cool tradition at Easter. We have Easter bunnies. So we always invite people over and we do bunny chows and call them Easter bunnies. So, but yeah, I mean, we make a variety of different food, and my husband's the cook in the family, so he's amazing and tries all sorts of things. So, but we do love a good South African food, braais and curries and things still.
fabulous. That is so good to hear. That's amazing. So what's next? What's next?
Next, I think, I'm trying to get into some of the big department stores. So, because I think it's important for people to be able to play with the clothing and feel how great the fabric is. Online, it's hard to get a sense of what the brand is all about. So I think that's one of the first steps for me. And then, hopefully getting into other countries. So expanding, getting into the US if I can. And yeah, just growing the brand that way and
That's very
educating
exciting.
people along the way as well.
Absolutely. And so do you find social media is working for you to reach more people, or what do you think has been the most effective for you to grow and for people to know more about you?
Social media is good. It's been a bit of a slow process, I think, with that as well. I've gifted to some UK celebrities and influencers, and they've been really happy with the brand and talked about Pop My Way in stories on Instagram. So that's been really helpful as well, just to build up some credibility from these people who've had babies. So I think that's been a good thing. But I think, yeah, just having a bricks and mortar store that people can go into and see the brand in real life would be very helpful.
Absolutely. And when are you going back down to South America? Are you planning?
South America, I'm not sure, but we've got some Peruvian factories coming over in the next 2 weeks. So I'm meeting with them in London. But hopefully a trip to Peru. I'd like to take my husband and daughter with me next time I go as well.
Oh,
So
that would be fab. Well,
yeah.
I'm available to carry luggage if you need
Oh
anyone.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm available.
I'll keep you posted.
So where can everyone get hold of you, and how can they find out more about your amazing brand?
Okay, so Instagram, we're pop_my_way, or if you just search for Pop My Way, you'll find us on there. Our website is popmyway.co.uk. And if you need to email me, if you've got questions or you just need some advice on something, you can email hello@popmyway.co.uk.
Oh, brilliant. And if you could give a small business owner one tip of advice, what would that be?
I think be authentic. So if you've got a business idea and you've got your goals and your mission in mind, stick to that. Like with me, sustainability is the biggest part of my business and an important part. So sometimes you get collaboration, your potential to collaborate with other brands or potential to sell on different platforms and things. But if it compromises my values and my ethics, I've just decided to say no. So it's not always about making a profit. It's about sticking to your values as well. So I would say.
Wow,
Yeah, good.
that's
That's
brilliant.
something important.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Celebrate
Thanks,
Southern
Dawn.
Africa.
Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. And we all wish you the very best. And we're all going to watch your progress, because I think you're doing amazing things. And you're on this list of 100. I bet there's going to be a list of 50 that you're going to be on, and then 20, and then 10, and then you're going to be number one.
Oh, thank you.
And we're all cheering you from here, because your DNA and your culture and what makes you so special is part of what we are. And
I
thank
appreciate all
you.
the support. So thank you.
No, thank you. It's been lovely, and good luck.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye-bye.